Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Easy 8's Online Painting Club. My name's Danny, and for the next 2 hours, I'm going to be sat here painting some miniatures, or rather just one miniature, for the next 2 hours, if I haven't already said 2 hours. So if you're new here, Easy 8 isn't a tutorial show or anything like that. I'm just not that good. There's loads of people out there who are. Go and check those guys out later. Stay here now, you know. Don't leave me, please. I need your friendship. No, it's not a tutorial show. It's just a place where you can come, make some friends, bring your friends if you want to, and enjoy some time together live doing some crafty stuff. So if you're painting something this evening, come and let me know all about it. I'm genuinely inspired by the stuff that you do. I'm certainly motivated by the stuff that you do. So if you want to come take some photographs of your stuff, then just stick it up on Facebook, because we're over there as well. We're on Instagram as well as Discord at the Easy 8 After Party. There's Jeff, that's my dad, saying happy birthday. Thanks very much. Yeah, it was my birthday yesterday. I am now the grand age of 43. Let that sink in for a minute. I still feel like a 12-year-old sometimes. Yeah, thank you very much. I've had a great birthday, all things considered, and we're going to get into that in just a minute. If you're new here, or even if you're not new here and you just haven't done it yet, please do consider subscribing to the show. Such a small gesture from yourself. It makes the community grow, so it's actually felt on a massive scale at this end. I never thought that we'd be at the number of subscribers that we've got right now. I only ever thought that we'd have like 2 or 3, but we've got 210. That's an amazing number, but make it 420. Go on, do it for me. If you haven't already subscribed, hit that subscribe button. Hit the little bell icon as well, because over the next few weeks you might find I do little surprise pop-up videos, because I'm going to have an abundance of time coming up soon. More on that shortly. Those of you that were here the last couple of weeks will know exactly what I'm talking about. So yeah, please subscribe, hit the bell icon. If you haven't already, please hit the thumbs up button right just down there somewhere. Go on, do it. I'll give you a second. Off your trot. Give it a thumbs up. Come on. We ain't doing anything else, are we? Thanks for giving it a thumbs up. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you to everyone who's followed the journey along so far. I've decided to make this the end of volume 4. I don't really know why I do volumes. I think it's just nice sometimes to kind of subdivide things. I'm one of those guys on a PC. I've got a folder within a folder within a folder. You know what I mean? Kind of breaks things down a little bit. It means that we've now been running for 4 years. That's quite a thing, isn't it, really? Because I only did this. I only made this show to bring people together during COVID, which of course was a world-ending, world-pausing event, and it was nice to kind of bring people together when we weren't allowed to go and spend time with the people that we were close to. Understandably, like, I get it, I'm not a COVID denier at all. But, you know, here we are, still 4 years on, and the world's still running and doing cool things. So, thanks for staying, I suppose. Like, it's been a wild ride, I love every minute of it. So, into the next year, and hopefully we'll do more stuff together and paint more models, because the whole point of the show is to get some colour on your grey. So that's what we're going to be doing today, hopefully. Funnily enough, today I'm going to be painting grey, so shut your mouth, Danny, you don't know what you're talking about. Who have we got joining us in the live chat today? We've got Shiv from Table of Horrors. Hi Shiv, how you doing? We've got Jeff, that's my dad. Hello Dad, thanks for the happy birthday message. He popped up just before the show as well, dropped me off a card and a present which we're going to open in a minute. We got John from Out This World, Models and Minis. Hi all, hope all is well. I'll watch the show when I get home from work. Happy belated birthday. Thank you so much, John. And a thumbs up from John there as well. Thank you so much. I hope you're doing well. Been having a tough old time of it lately. I've seen on your Facebook page. I hope everything is running smoother now, mate. Yeah, when it rains it pours. Right, absolutely. But miss you, man. Hope you're doing well. Take care. Cool. He said my name. Swoon. Also going to say your name. You're an avid supporter of this show. So, I'm going to be carrying on painting my Warhammer Screamer Killer. It's taken me a really long time just to get like that one bit on the back done. Like I said at the end of last week's show, I was working on the back of him because it's a really you can't see it here. I'll show you on the better camera in a second. But it was a big canvas. It was a big area for me to kind of practice this effect on that I wanted to do. But it was really fiddly, so it took a really long time. Then I moved on to other little bits around, and it was going much faster. So I'm hoping all the other little spitty bits, as my friend would call it, spitty bits, are going to go much faster. So we're starting to come out of the difficult phase of this model. Every model, or every group of models, every project has that tough phase where it just drags on and on and on, and you just want to put it in a bin. I'm sure we all do that. But yeah, we're coming out that side now. There's light at the end of the tunnel. So yeah, That's what I'm going to be doing this evening. Adria says, saying you need to get more colour on your grey makes you sound like an advert for men's hair dye. I suppose I'm at that age now, really. Actually, do you know what? I'm still mousy blonde. I like it. I think white or grey hair would suit me, because it'll make me look wise. I am not wise. Anyway, down here, I've got a present that my old man, Jeff, in the live chat brought to me. I like dinosaurs, so I've got a dinosaur bag. Thanks. Betrays my age, surely. I've got a birthday card. It has a T-Rex on it. It has a bouncy head. I love it. Thank you very much. That's going to go, oops, just here for now, so that I can see it. It's your birthday. Love that. And I've got a present. It sounds like models. It feels like a model box. It's got some crazy monsters on the wrapping paper, but we're going to open it as because he told me to open it on the show. So imagine if it was just like a collection of baby photos. Ugh. Anyway, do you know what? Thanks for joining me this evening. It is a day after my birthday. I'm considering it my birthday. It's been a painful couple of weeks. We'll go more into that in a little bit. Let's just go over to the workbench, open up this present, talk about how cool it is. I'm sure it's going to be, and then we'll paint some stuff together. Here we go. Here we go. Is it a bicycle? No, it's a puppy. And the reason that you don't give puppies for Christmas is because they're really hard to wrap. So, kudos for getting it so square. Okay, thank you so much for my present. It's a bit of a tight angle here, isn't it? But we'll make do. We'll make do. I've got the bigger screen if need be. I love the monsters. Don't like to rip paper because I'm one of those guys, but oh dear. Oh, hello. Oh, that's so cool. That is so cool. Thank you very much. It says caution at the bottom. Well, that doesn't need any introductions, does it? High pressure seal. The high pressure seal's been broken. Oh, that's amazing. RoboCop. I'm a big fan of all of the 80s action films, the sci-fi 80s action films. Like, we all know by now that Alien and Aliens, my favourite franchise. The first three, but I could cap it at the first two. Everything else is dog toffee. But Predator, RoboCop, Terminator, I think they're fantastic. I think they're just absolutely wonderful stories told and displayed in just an epic way. And the 80s was just fantastic for us. Do you know what? RoboCop is no exception. I love the RoboCop himself. I love the way he moved. I love the art direction of it. I love the cinematography. I love Paul Verhoeven's style of directing and his just his style. And I love Ed 209. Absolutely fantastic. RoboCop 2 was a fun way of kind of carrying it on, but it lost a lot of it because this guy is an excellent villain. He's not really a villain. Is he a villain? What is he? He's kind of a villain, isn't he? He's like the first tier boss. Sam has joined us. Happy birthday for you, man. Miss you. Do you know what, Sam? It's only been a couple of days, and I miss you intolerably already. We'll get more into that in a bit. Solid resin cast. Oh my goodness. Oh, he's a doozy. Look at the size of him. He's kind of sellotaped together in different component parts. High quality casting. Really light, actually. It must have been 3D printed. Absolutely must have been. I cannot see any layer lines on him at all, so I wonder if he was cast. Perhaps cast, actually. Looking at where the joins seal together. It's going to be quite a project putting that together. I'm going to do a lot of filling on him. Oh, there are some little supports inside. Maybe he was 3D printed. Beautiful casting. Wonderful work. Thank you so much. This is brilliant. Love that. Lovely colour as well. Not that that's going to stay that colour. It's going to be painted more grey. Oh, this is a beautiful model. Yeah, 3D printed. You can tell here, my lights are a little bit glary. But if I bring it in nice and close, I wonder autofocus on. You see these little pits? They're going to focus. They're going to focus. See those little craters? Those, from what, if I'm on the right wavelength, I think there's like little support lines when he was printed, probably printed at that sort of angle on the bed that way. You have 15 seconds to paint that model. We all know that that is not going to happen. 10 seconds to comply. Fabulous. Look at that. Absolutely. I've always wanted an Ed 209 model. I was recently looking at buying the little 28mm style models for the RoboCop game, but I didn't. Lucky, because I've got this guy. More stuff in the bags. Do you know what? Let's just open it all up. Go for it. Little knife. Big knife. Why not? Got myself on air. Okay. This one. Oh my goodness, so many pieces. I'm assuming that's a toe. And there's more toes. Okay, so each of these little bags is probably a leg, right? Probably a leg. Ah. Here's an upper leg. Recognize these bits anywhere. Look at the screw threads on the insides. Come on now. You can do it. You can focus. Just about. Detailing, that is insane. That is going to be some fun to paint. And something completely different as well. Look at that. The detail that's in there. Even right underneath the feet where you're not going to see anything. Little venting. Careful opening it upstairs. It can't go downstairs, as we all know. You can lead an Ed 209 upstairs, but not down. I'm assuming these are all like cable bundles and not supports that need removing. We'll leave those off. Absolutely fantastic. Thank you very much. That is absolutely wonderful. Incredible. So chunky. A lot of filling work to do on him. Shouldn't be too much effort. It's a real ongoing project, that one is, isn't it? They have a scale, do we know? Looks like it could be 1/35. Doesn't want to go back in the box though. Should have paid more attention to how it went in. No scale written on the box, but it doesn't matter. Still going to enjoy playing with it, painting it, putting it together. Not in that order, obviously. Some little pictures on the back so you can kind of work out roughly what colour things have got to be and how things are going to go together. Absolutely fantastic. Thank you very much. That is absolutely incredible model. Someone's gone to great lengths to make that look very, very professional. If someone's just been doing that out of their garage or whatever, kudos. I love it. Love everything about it. Thank you very much. Happy birthday, me. Down there in my big pile of grey. Oh, so yeah, birthday. And the reason I've got so much time coming up is because officially by the end of this show today, I will be a dirty little stop out unemployed person because my redundancy would have gone through. It would be completed, and that is that. It's been very emotional. very, very emotional. Being a part of the team that closed down the centre that I've been a part of for 16 years was harder. I knew it was going to be hard, but it was very hard, and it's just been a complete and utter dismantling of the stability I've known over that entire time, and friends parting ways. So yeah, it's been difficult. It's been very, very difficult, and I am now officially not going back there. I will be going back on site to go and pick up a few last bits and pieces, and my boss lives there, so he'll be working over the winter until January. So I'll be going in to say hello to him. It's his birthday on Tuesday. So, you know, I will be going backwards and forwards. But the last time that I've crossed that threshold as an employee with that company, probably forever. Tough times. Didn't see that coming at the beginning of this year. So, well, I've only got a cup of water today because I've drunk a lot of tea in the last couple of hours. But I've got my cup of water. But to all of you who watch the show, and to all of my friends who I've worked with over the years, made me the man I am today. Cheers to everybody. Thank you very much. Onwards to painting more grey on grey. Here we go. So, my Screamer Killer. I'm gonna get rid of my knife before I slash myself open on that bad boy. You go up there. I'm just going to increase my screen so I can see more clearly what it is that I'm doing. Lovely. I haven't put my autofocus on. Oh no, my autofocus is on. Let me just turn that autofocus off. Because we've discovered recently, if I put it about here, that is bang on, isn't it? Don't really move it around an awful lot. So, yeah, cool. His birthday Tuesday, yours yesterday, and mine Monday. So your birthday coming up this Monday, Shiv? Is that what you're saying? So like this Monday, next Monday? Happy birthday, sir. Okay, day over 21. Okay, yeah, so I've painted this, I've painted this, I painted this. Now I'm going to move on to the front. I think I'm going to start by painting the legs because they're nice and big and chunky and quite easy. It is a little bit tight in there, but it should be okay. Then I've got a little bit on his throat. That's a bit weird, isn't it? Got a bit on his chest and a little bit on his groin. Steady, ladies. And then his face. And then his arms. And the arms are going to be the hardest bit. There's little bits here. They're going to be quite easy to do. But these bits are a very weird, peculiar shape compared to everything else so far. So we'll see how it goes. Yes, the 4th, and my anniversary is on the 5th. Ah, congratulations. Like everything, all in one big bundle there, isn't it? Quickly go back over some of the other comments here. Adrian says, those supports inside would be to stop the cast resin collapsing as the resin sets. Yes, and I think the way it's been designed is to also prevent it from having unset resin on the inside, which uncured resin on top of cured resin corrodes set resin. As I've discovered by having I got like a dinosaur, T-Rex printed dinosaur, and his leg split open and liquid resin poured out and it was sticky and gross, so I had to try and cure it. But yes, you're absolutely right. Anyway, here we go. Cool. I'm going to pull myself in a little bit closer, move my microphone a little bit. Here we go. So, on here, I've got it all painted black. I need to get my dark grey. So, dark grey. I've got light grey. I've got lightest grey. Ah, there we go. Eshin grey, my dark grey. Wonderful. Going to give that a shake. It's been a little while since I've used that. That needs a real good mixing. That's better. Bring. Plop that in there. Stick a little bit of flow improver in there. Just a smidge. Not going to worry about paint retarder. I don't. With this grey, it's the first one. I just need to cover up a lot of the black on there. I don't think it's going to be that long while I get that done. Got quite a bit of paint in the palette. So if I get the legs done, I've still got paint left and the paint's still pliable, I might just go and paint other bits too. Lovely. I'm going to use my 0. I don't have to be so delicate with it. Wet that those bristles up. Wake the brush up a little bit. Not really going to dry it out on some paper towel or anything. Want a little bit of water in the bristles. Got to keep your paint bristles moist. Okie dokie. Here we go. So, I'm going to start right at the top, because that top plate isn't going to have necessarily any shadow on it. Or is it? Because I've done black right up against each of these plates as to kind of simulate those depth. Really? Do I do black right up against the sort of the fleshy bit up there? Does that make sense? Right in here. I think I'm gonna for now. Yeah, looks pretty good. Okay, happy with that. Lovely. On to the next plate already. It's actually quite a large brush. I thought it was going to be an easy brush to use. It's not. So in a minute I might go to the 000. Quite difficult with the light sometimes. It just reflects off of all these dark colours. It's really hard to see where you put the paint. Persistence is key. Now I learned on the back parts that the black area doesn't need to be sticking out too far. So I'll actually take this grey quite close to the other plate, the higher plate. Even quite a narrow band of black in there. Love it. Moving through this little bit quite quickly, actually. There used to be a time when all of the plates on a Tyranid would be in sets of 5. So on the thigh, on the head, on the back, on the thorax, the lower bit, it would be like 5 plates. This one here's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 plates. In other places it's got more, sometimes it's got less. So I think they've kind of done away with that routine now. Works for me, whatever. Don't really mind. As long as it looks cool. Tyranids hyper-evolve as a part of their background anyway. Maybe they decided, don't need 5 plates, want more. Onto this plate here. Got a good consistency to work with as well at the moment. Now it's that last little platelet. Lovely. Dan, what are you going to do with his mutton chops on the side of his head? They look different to the plate armour. Yeah, if we kind of ignore the spikiness that kind of sticks down the sides and just look on the side here, you can actually see that they are sort of angled plate, flat plates just as much as the bits are on the back or on his legs. So I'm going to try and treat them as if they just are normal plates. So we'll find that the angled lines will kind of, the lines that I paint on them will go this way. So I kind of go that way down the thing rather than heading down towards the spiky bits. So the spiky bits here will go to the highlight colour because they're pointy. So yeah, I've yet to see how that's going to make him look. I'm going to do the legs and then these chest bits, and then I'm going to move on to that bit next before I do the arms last. So yeah, we're not too far away from getting it done. We might, if these legs go nice and quickly, and the chest goes nice and quickly as well, we might move on to the face today. Knowing how slow I paint things, we might not get there till December. I hope we get there by December. Okay, that's the first grey on his leg done, upper leg. Now I've got to go down here on the bottom leg, bottom part. We've got a tiny edge here of skin that meets the armoured plate. So I'm going to still keep that black line in there. I haven't done a black line on the top plate up here because there is it just terminates. There's nothing there to meet it. So here there is something that meets it. Very small line, very small plate. Such large arms, it's so hard to hold him sometimes. Lovely. See that top leg there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 plates, bottom one, 4 plates. Take your rules, destroy them. Try and decrease the width of that black line in there. Made probably a little bit too heavy. That's better. That's going to be a tricky one in there beside that talon. Might have to go to a smaller brush for that. Can I push it with this size? As I want to go with it before I start painting grey all over the lovely yellow bits in there. So onto the last plate on this side. Go back for that other bit in a second. A little bit of character now, right? Very quickly to the smaller brush. Wake that brush up with putting a bit of water and bristles in there. Oh, brushing into other equipment. End up colliding quite a lot of the time. Almost there. Excellent. On to the next leg then. I'm going to wash my brush out. Always wash your brushes out, folks. Francois has joined us. Hello, Francois. Thanks for coming along. How are you doing? Nice to see you again. Got a sip of water. I'm drinking water tonight, not only because I've drunk so much tea in the last couple of hours, but I've been really struggling today. I think I'm just dehydrated. I know you could attribute that to turning 43, but yeah, quite difficult. Move around, definitely a sign of age, but make sure you stay hydrated, kids. Also, drinking probably does. What can I say? I had some things to put to bed. Traumatic go. Are you drinking your paint water? Yes. Non-toxic, so it's absolutely fine, right? how to hold it without smearing everything that I've already done. Trick. Okay, oh, this is going to be a little fiddlier on this side, isn't it? Okay, cool. Wonder if you can see what I'm painting as I'm painting it. Nope, probably not. But what you need to know is it's going to be right up inside there, that bit in there. Okay, cool. Here we go. Oh, again, crashing into a microphone. Lovely. Yeah, that was quite tricky. Second plate. Excellent. There's plate. It is actually a fun model to paint. I have been painting it for some time now, and I am looking forward to getting a bigger sense of completion out of it. So when I get these legs done, it will feel like a real step forwards. On to the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th plate. think I'm going to have enough paint to do all the chest bits in there as well, so probably... Oh, sorry, I keep crashing into the microphone, so terrible. Just might get all of the dark grey bits done in one go. Got the paint there, right? Onto that final plate side. I'll try and keep that grainy effect. Those last couple of plates in there, the painting looks like I've kind of just gone in there and rounded it out to match the curvature of the inside of that scoop on that plate. But actually I want it quite liney, and it's quite easy to forget that when you're trying to concentrate. So with these bits here, I try and make sure that I keep that style of painting, and it's more important, I think, with the brighter colours because they'll stand out more. And I'll just kind of work my way down to edge highlighting, and I will be very deliberately liney with a smaller brush, which will certainly make it easier to do that. But with a smaller brush, it takes a much longer time to cover a larger area, and because this grey paint covers a larger area, that's why I use it. Side edge there done as well. Don't have to worry about outside edges so much with this grey. I'm just being a little bit picky, just kind of doing it now. But again, with the lighter greys, I am going to be edge highlighting. If there are just larger areas of black to cover, I like to do it with a lighter grey, just because the light grey might not cover so well going over a darker colour. There we go. 1.5 legs completed with this colour. Brush out just for good maintenance. Again. Started work on the Horus Heresy factory room. Don't know much about the game or rule set. Anything I need to know that would affect the build, sort of 40k-ish. Do you know the best person to answer all your Horus Heresy questions is probably Table of Horrors, because he's currently painting models for Horus Heresy, which is colloquially known as 30k, because it is set 10,000 years earlier in the Horus Heresy. 40k-ish, but Imperial Aquillas are rarer instead. The Imperial Aquila is the two-headed eagle. There you go, the two-headed eagle. So you'll find that less. Apparently, glad to hear it, because I didn't know that. I'm a big 40k fan. Don't know much about the Horus Heresy. I've read some of the books. It's a very good part of the story. Like it. I just don't know much about it. So are you saying don't put eagles on it? Or put eagles, don't put the Aquila on it? Interesting discussion. Oh, this is going to be tricky. Okay. Take your time, Danny. You know what you should do to get all like up in the knowledge of 30k is you should read the 112 books or whatever it is, all those novels, just to get a, an idea of the feel of it all. You do that this week, right? You could charge it as a part of the build, saying it was necessary research. That's a really tricky spot. I'm having to get into all like sort of funny, weird positions. Crumbs has joined us. Evening, peeps. Totally forgot about the stream, but here we are now. So yeah, actually, I forgot about it too. It's just been a really tough couple of days, and I was talking about it yesterday with my partner. Saying I'll go on evening, do my show, and she's like, "Yeah, absolutely fine." And I just woke up this morning and forgot. We went out and did some shopping. I bought some clothes for an interview that I've got on Monday morning, and yeah, I just forgot it. So that's why the schedule only came out like an hour and a half ago. Really sorry about that. So don't worry, Crumbs, you're not the only one. It's just had a lot on my mind. How are you doing? How goes your projects? 64, 54 for the Horus Heresy, and 10 for the Siege of Terror. I'm just missing the last two. Oh, there you go. So I wasn't far off. One of my war dogs is half completed, kind of like ED 104.5. Interesting you should say that. I'm not going to talk any more about it, Crumbs. You've got to go back to the beginning of the show to watch that. You can watch it on the replay later on if you want to. Leave a little comment in the comment section. Where am I? Down here. No eagle, but all else goes, yeah? Yeah, it's still very gothic-y. Oh, I just painted my thumb. What a wally. Angelic statues of the Emperor are out. Yes, he is. That's pretty much the whole point of the Horus Heresy, isn't it? Is that he is not a angelic sort of thing. The Imperial cult, the Church of the Imperium, is what 40k is all about. Space Marines are basically like warrior monks. They are still Space Marines in 30k, but they just aren't that kind of monk way. Like you don't find chaplains, for example. Part of the ecclesiarchy is what is known as, that's the Imperial cult. That doesn't exist in 30k. But it's still gothic-y. Over the top. Spacious. Ostentatious in its grandeur, but for ordinary civilian folks living on the planets of the Imperium, it's still oppressive. Am I right in saying that? It's still a fascist regime. Is that right? Yeah, it certainly is in 40k. Life and servitude of the Emperor and the Imperium. But is it like that in 30k? Okay, I'm going to have to use my little tiny brush to get in behind the talon again. Loads of comments. Will do, but doing a Robocop diorama. Love this guy. You know what? I haven't even thought that far ahead. I'll paint the Ed 209 and then I might do a diorama. Talk about doing dioramas a little while ago, wasn't I? That would be so cool. Good idea. He's not a god, he's a very naughty emperor, yeah. So Lorgar was right after all then? Isn't it all his fault? Don't side with him. Shiv, you looking on the bright side of life? Don't know what he's talking about then. Okay, maybe I'm missing something. Maybe there's an answer yet to come. Jeff says, it's a factory, so I'll keep it industrial, but do have more ruins to do after. That'd be cool. Yeah, you can actually buy lots of like Warhammer style machinery. So if that's something that he wants as a part of his build, part of his expense, is that you can buy probably lots of Necromunda would definitely be the place to look. Little like tracked cranes and things like that. Little 40k style forklifts and things. Might be quite cool. Space Marines still view the Emperor as exception of Black Templars. Yeah, there are a few that take it too. Yes, absolutely. Black eyeliner and a thicky fringe. Yes. Those you wouldn't understand it. I went through that phase myself. I think I understand perfectly. Shut up, you don't know me. Maybe I won't have enough of this dark grey to do all the other little bits on there. Who knows? Starting to congeal a little bit. Sent a box of bits, remember? Oh yeah, of course. So you've got loads of stuff to send to dress it up and make it look super cool. At a later date, I'll show you loads of images of miniatures and stuff that you can buy to kind of go along with it. And you go, might send it over to you, who knows? Some clients really get involved in their own builds, like send loads of stuff over. I'll put this on it, put this on it. I think that's a really cool way of engaging with your your service provider. Okay, both legs are now done. That dark grey. I've got a little bit of this grey left over. And before it completely goes black, I'm just going to add a little bit of water to it with my brush. And I'm just going to see if I can start getting all these other plates underneath here done as well. So, I'm going to start in here. Teeny tiny plates. Lathe is a lathe, whether in 40k or 21st century. Yeah, I suppose. Like, we're still going to have machines, right? He sent a box of bits. Yeah, I remember that one. Belated happy birthday, Danny. What's the grown-up juice for tonight? Well, I'm not having grown-up juice right now. I'm just having water. Thank you very much for the belated birthday wishes. Yesterday was, I'm going to be honest with you, a crappy birthday. I deliberately had set it up that way. It was going to be my last day at work. I wanted to be a part of this last week at work where we closed my centre for good, and it's just been striking the set basically. So just taking everything down that has been semi-permanent things, and then stock taking, massive inventory count, the likes of which have never been seen. Everything, and it's just been really emotional, and that was my birthday. But I absolutely love what I do, and I love the place that I worked at, and I love the people that I worked with. Couldn't ask to work with a finer bunch of people. It's very hard to let go of. So that was my birthday, my last day of work. Oh yeah, sounds really sad, doesn't it? But it kind of is. But it was a choice. Shiv says, got up to make up a coffee early before break, but without Danny. Change my paint water. Oh yeah, got to change paint water, man. Ah, interesting. This isn't overlapping plates. This is a solid sternum plate. That is irritating. Do I paint it as if it is layers? Overlapping plates, or do I just... Okay. I'm going to paint the whole thing grey. Haven't noticed that before. Might leave black right around the edge. See what that looks like. Easier to leave it out and paint it grey in a minute if it doesn't. Quite like it actually. I think I'll do that. It sort of outlines it. It absolutely does outline it. That is exactly what it's doing, and I think I like it. already. That has really flown on quite a bit, hasn't it? Didn't realise the time already. We're halfway through. We're an hour in. What a crisis. Such a lovely time hanging out with you guys. Painting model. I love it. Just get this little dark. I'm doing painting that top surface. When that sort of angle changes, it goes down, gives you that three-dimensional depth into the chest. I'm leaving that bit. Be enough to kind of suggest that black is a part of this grey colour scheme and not just a shadow. But maybe it is. Really tricky. One more plate in there, but it's so hidden away you can't even see it. Now, the only grey I've got to paint really is on this groin piece. I've still got a little bit of paint left there that I think will be okay if I just disappeared for a break. It's time to have a quick break, isn't it? Here we go. What's this going in here? Seriously, why is Forge World resin either okay or total trash? Do you know? Yeah, I don't know. I love the Forge World sculpts, but you're absolutely right. It is hit or miss sometimes, isn't it? It really is. Because it's crumbs. Because you have to buy another one if the first one is gash. Yeah, I've had nothing but really good experiences with the returns team at Forge World, but it has been a long time since I bought it. I don't have an awful lot from them, but I do have that I will paint one day, and one of the reasons I'm doing painting smaller Tyranny models, I say smaller than what I've got the now out of production winged hive tyrant from Forge World with the old style alien queen head, and it's a beautiful model. I want to make sure that I can paint Tyranids really well before I go to do that one and potentially ruin it, but it's a beast, and I have to probably learn how to magnetize its wings because it would take up this whole table. Beautiful model. Anyway, it is time for a quick break, so yeah, you can go and stretch your legs, you can go and refocus your eyes, you can go and change your paint water. The intent, I'm going to go grab a grown-up juice. Bye. Hello, welcome back. I went and got myself a grown-up juice. This evening I'm drinking 19 Crimes, The Uprising, some very, very cheeky little red wine. So to everybody for this weekend, and thank you very much for all the wonderful birthday wishes and just generally your company, and for following Easy 8 along for its 4th year. Cheers, and thank you very much. Oh, that is a cheeky wine. Love it. I'm going to put the water over there where I'm sure I'll drink all of it. I've also got some other presents, other people that I thought I'd show on the show. Show on the show, that's weird. Let me just wash my brush out because I was painting during the intermission there. I have also got from my partner's sister, who doesn't know a thing about painting miniatures or the kind of the nerdy world. I've been with my partner for 6 years and I've known her sister for that entire time. She's really done her homework. She doesn't live near us, so she's ordered this on Amazon. She went onto the Easy 8 Facebook page, which you should definitely go and check out. And she researched the sort of stuff that I like to paint, and she found this, which if I move quickly over to the workbench, Atlantic War Games, Classic Fantasy, D20 approved. I don't know if this is a set of models for a game that I don't know about, or if it's more for like D&D or anything, but lizard men, and they are so cool. They are really high detailed miniatures and they look like they're really well like made / sculpted or whatever, but lizards with muskets and spears and maybe some sort of a flute, but looks like some sort of, you know, plumbing pipe work. I love it. Absolutely brilliant. 24 multi-part hard plastic 28mm figures. Only 7 on the front, and I didn't even read that earlier when I was talking to my partner. She was like, how many are in there? I was like, oh, 7 maybe? I was thinking maybe they'd be quite large models. That's fantastic. Big chunky old box. And then some stuff on the back here. Deathfields. Maybe Deathfields is a game that I don't know anything about. I'm going to be honest with you. I've never heard of War Games Atlantic or Atlantic War Games. But these models look really, really cool. Got a website in the back. wargamesatlantic.com. Go and check him out. This guy, look. He's got a mask. I love it. So, to my partner's sister, thank you very much. That's very kind of you. And she didn't know whether they came with bases or not. So, she went and bought me a whole pack of these really large bases, which might be too much for it. I don't play whatever game this is. Maybe I should. But maybe I can do some like really nice bases on them using those. But I'll use those bases anyway at some point for something, I'm sure. So that was super cool. Thanks for doing the background work or whatever. Like, I've never painted anything like this before, but that's not the point. I like painting stuff, and I like painting different stuff. It's very easy just to kind of get stuck into one thing. So I like to paint this. I like to paint historical armor. I like to paint dinosaurs. I like to paint robots. I like to paint Ed 209. You know. And now lizard men with rifles. And she also got me some chocolate. So excuse me while I indulge myself on my birthday by having a little bit of chocolate and a little bit of red wine while I paint my miniatures. So anyway, look, I'm going to go back. Here we go. If you're new here to Easy 8, normally my microphone isn't in my face. If you're new here to Easy 8, you don't know what we're all about, but you like what it is that I'm doing here on the show, and you like my company, or a reflection, and you like a bit of company while you're painting your miniatures, and you like making friends in the live chat on that side over there, then please do subscribe to the show, because subscribing is the way to help us grow. That rhymes. Oh, there's a jingle in there somewhere. Get me on the radio. I'm a poet and I didn't even realise poems don't have to rhyme. Oh, chocolate smells. Love it. Thanks, mate. I've had a lot of love these last few days. Thanks to all. Yum, yum, yum. Oh, a foam knife. I should not have put all that in my mouth. You don't just have to subscribe. Please like as well by thumbsing up the video. I'll give you a second to do that while I get rid of some of this chocolate. Please go and thumbs up the video, it'd be great. Oh, so yummy. This show is just about having some company while you paint your stuff. Whether you find me entertaining or not, maybe this live show where I get things wrong, where I struggle to do things, it might be what you're experiencing as well. It might be what's holding you back from getting your hordes of grey plastic painted, And that's what we're all here together for. We share a passion, we share a love for the hobby. So let's come together, talk about it, do stuff together, and paint our miniatures and get some colour on your grey. That's what it's all about, right? So you can support us. I finally got rid of it. You can support us by subscribing. You can support us by giving it a thumbs up. Just down there. You can join us over at Facebook, on YouTube, obviously Instagram, and on Discord at the Easy 8 After Party, where you can join me and some of the guys who come along every week and join in a live video chat at the end of the show where we talk about complete rubbish. Nearly did a swear there. Yeah, and every time that you interact with the show, whether it be subscribing or liking or leaving a comment in the description, the description just below the description, just down there, it helps affect the algorithm. All hail the algorithm, because the algorithm is stacked against us, little YouTubers. I want to make the show grow so that we can, share the community far and wide. So go and tell a friend, go and share a little poster at work or something, and put Easy 8 out there and bring more people into the fold, because that's what we want. So subscribe. Thank you very much. Some comments going in. I heard a rumour that I just made up that Danny will be writing and performing in a one-man pantomime for the Easy 8 Christmas. I feel a certain amount of pressure there. There's some negative energy coming from me right now. Following the start of Nottingham in search of the Christmas boxes. Yeah, I should. Shiv, come on, mate. I can't read that next one. Can I? Should not put that all in my mouth. Danny, 2024. Totally not going to take that out of context. It was written out of context. You know it was. Actual quote, I'm sure it can't be taken out of context. Anyway, subscribe. It'll make my day. Thanks very much. Here we go. Enough of that nonsense. I'm going to put that whole thing in my mouth again. Did that just for you. With a mouthful of chocolate. Right, okay, cool. Easy 8 perverted show. Crikey. I've got a little bit of this grey left. I can't talk. So I'm just going to paint this guy's groin up. You love it. Do you know what? How are your projects going this evening? I haven't asked you enough today. What are you working on? Please take photos. Put it up on Discord or on Facebook. Tell us all about it. What are you working on this evening? You are working on something. Is it going well? Are you struggling? Are you succeeding? Do you ever struggle? Do you ever succeed? Are you trying something new? Do you prefer to stick with the style that you've got? Are you getting stuff done? Are you working through your hordes of grey plastic that isn't painted? Okay. These plates here have got quite a thickness. It's obviously got something to really protect, isn't it? So just making sure that I get the edges coloured quite well as well. Looking good. Add a decent amount of grey paint left. Decent enough consistency. To get all those little spitty bits done. I actually have done with leaving a bit more black on this particular plate. I went up a bit too close in one particular spot and it stands out to me a little bit, so I might just get a tiny bit of black paint. Just bring that grey back a little bit, just a smidge. I don't need anything more. There we go. One little dot, please. That is more than one dot. There's a bit of wasted paint there, never mind. Okay, an airbrush paint, so I don't need to thin it down at all. Just a tiny little detail, really. But everyone's going to be looking at his nads because he's so attractive. So it's going to stand out like a sore thumb. Okay, Easy 8 innuendo. Easy 8 innuendo. It's really hard to say that. Easy 8, the edition, the edition. A Lindt chocolate with, with nits in it. Nuts in it? With nids in it? Nuts in it. I see. Shiv says he's doing his Mark III breeches. Those come from the Horus Heresy, Jeff, just in case you were wondering. And you're doing a Chaos War Dog. Yeah, want to see photos of all of this, please. Jeff says, new explosion markers with lights. Did a test one, and now we'll do enough for a bombing run. That sounds cool. Please put photos up on Facebook. Would love to see that. That is a nice wine. Drank enough of it yesterday to drop a rhino. Cool. So, dark grey is done on all those bits. So now it's time to move to my mid grey. Let's swing the palette around here. There we go. Cool. A bit of a shake. Let's get a dollop of this out. Fantastic. That's going to need a little bit of flow improver. And I'm also going to put a little bit of retarder in there as well. Just because this is the part where really I'm going to start slowing down a little bit, I think. Just a little bit. The retarder it's a weird substance. It's not like all the other mediums. It's not runny, it's gloopy, it's like a gel. Like hair gel. So I think it probably adds a bit of thickness to the consistency of the paint. So if you're using that stuff, this is the Vallejo one. If you're using it, just bear that in mind. So I'm going to add a drop of water to it as well, just to loosen it up a little bit more. And that does significantly affect the drying rate as well, so it is helpful. So I'm going to be working with my 000 brush from here on in, I think. Going back to the top plate of this thigh here, and now I'm going to be trying to do those little lines. Got a good consistency to start with. That. Touch on the transparent side. I might have to ever so quickly go back over with a second coat as I move on. Moving through this swiftly, and I'm going to put this down entirely to a good consistency of paint. looking really cool. I'm so happy with it. Which is good to have a payoff that you're happy with, right? Otherwise, what's the point? Lovely. And just making sure that I paint that depth, three-dimensional aspect of these plates. The overhang, if you will. Moving on to the lower part of the leg. I will wash my brush out though. Swig of wine while I'm at it. A swig, a quaff, if you will. Because of the size. They're still big enough to be able to see the style of this technique. You know, there's little lines on the really, really tiny plates, like under the throat, whatever. It's very, very difficult. These plates are big enough where you can actually still see it. Doesn't help that the paint is still a little bit on the opaques. It is working for me. Oh. Keep going, keep going. so tricky to hold. Limbs getting in the way everywhere. Tricky. Oh, what time are we on? 1:45. Started a minute later. We ran over a little bit in our intermission, so I'm sure we can get an extra 5-10 minutes out of today. Ooh. Jeff says, if you had to fight that bug, you'd shoot it in the pink bits. That's why I've painted it like that. Because way back in 3rd edition, just after Tyranids were released, they were released in 2nd edition. They had a kind of a know your enemy style page in the back of the book where it had very crude silhouettes of each creature with like crosshairs pointed on like different weak spots, like in the head or in the leg or in the knee or whatever it would be, leading to the suggestion that every Tyranid, no matter how big they are, would have a weak spot somewhere. Now you could say in the eyes or in the mouth for almost every single one, right? But when you're looking at all these joints, you've got all this arm and you've got all this skin and you've got all these little bits that are like exposed bits in the skin. I just thought that it would be great to kind of paint them, especially under the back and under here. I thought that was really cool. Just because, well, it needs to move, right? I mean, if you've ever worn a suit of armour, and I know you have, there are spots on a suit of armour that are weak, like, you know, under the armpits, the backs of the knees, and, you know, the joint in the neck and things like that. Now, there was always armour that was created to try and mitigate any sneak attack into those areas, but it is a weak spot, you know, where it has to move, where it has to be flexible, where it has to join onto something else. There's a weak spot there, and I like the idea that even a big old gigantic Tyranid like this thing could be taken down with a very successful, you know, weak spot shot. Consider the Tiger tank, Tiger 1. We all know that you will struggle trying to shoot these things in the armour, but Tiger 131, that is lovingly displayed and run at the Tank Museum in Bovingdon, was taken out by one or two very, very well placed shots. It was originally argued that it was a lucky shot in the turret ring that kind of came up from a position where the Tiger was elevated above it, perhaps like in a foxhole, from a 20mm cannon. It is been debated that it wasn't someone who was having a lucky day. It was someone who knew exactly what they were doing and aimed very well. I think there's a couple of shots you can see where one has kind of bounced off the front of the glacis on on the front of the armour. Not really a glacis, it's a slab. But you can see it's kind of scored a line on the side of the turret. And then there's a second one that hit right in the joint of the turret in the hull. And it wasn't able then to turn its turret and be offensive anymore. And subsequently the crew got out and abandoned it. And then it was taken away by the British. Which is cool. So even something as notorious and infamous as the Tiger 1 tank can be stopped by one very good shot. And I think this is what I'm trying to display on these things. A flamethrower finds all the weak spots in one go. You're right, it does. In a room, takes them all out. Ugh, good old wine. Anyway, look, we're getting close to the end of the day. If you've got anything you want to talk about, ask, do, form, do it. This is so tricky. Should have left the arms off, shouldn't I? I did originally do it, if you remember. This is my concentration voice. Sometimes I'm not always talking. I'm very aware of that, and I'm very sorry. For those of you that really enjoy the tones of my voice, sometimes I just shut up and get stuff done. Not always, though. Live chat's got a bit quiet as well, so I'm assuming that there's some people in there that are also getting some stuff done. And while it is nice to talk, this show is about getting stuff done, so well done to you. Very keen to get this level of grey completed on the legs at the very least this evening, although I realise I've only got about 4 minutes to do quite a bit more work, so bear with me while I'm quite quiet. Trying to not rush it. Very tempting to do that sometimes as part of this show. Kind of get stuck in a moment. Going a bit heavy with the paint sometimes and you realise, oh, I've just change the style or the way that that looks compared to everything else, or oh, that just looks terrible. Have you thought of a name for your Carnifex yet? May I suggest Stanley? Why Stanley? I think I can guess why, but why Stanley? No, I haven't thought of a name for it either. I do actually name most of my Tyranids. blackened 3D edge. They look really, really good. Because of Laurel and Hardy, they were awesome. I saw a stand once. I knew a stand once, beg your pardon. Yeah, I was thinking more like because he's covered in Stanley knives, but yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, I really like the way that those legs are starting to stand. He's got some trousers on now, right? It's going to look really cool on the table. And those black arms eventually are going to be in the same colour as well. So it'll tone it right back, the darkness on those arms. What I'm really interested to see is how my painting has evolved. If you compare, let me just wash my brush out while I'm yapping away. If you compare the style and appearance, the aesthetic of this particular Tyranid compared to one of my more recent ones, which was a Trigon. I was really happy with this one. It was one of the bigger models that I painted at this point. You can see that on the top plate here, a distinct lack of dark grey. So I've only got 2 colours, but then we move down to the next plate down there, and then there's 4 colours because I'm using dark grey and black in there as well. The reason I've done it this way is because the mid grey was the grey that I was using as the base colour for it all. On this one, it's the dark grey. Dark grey is the base grey. If you look on the top plate here, you can see that it goes all the way down to a 3rd colour. Careful not to touch all the paint you just painted, Danny. So there is a massive difference in the style and appearance of these two. Now the plates on the Trigon are much bigger, so I can get much more defined lines and things in there. I had a really good time painting it. It'll be a long time to get the sort of right consistency for the paints. I'm really starting to get that consistency down. There's a massive difference between these two. I'm okay with that. It shows a learning curve over time, but there is a part of me that wants to go back and do it, when I'm going to really, really resist that, because it's nice to see how far you've come. Yeah, which is what I was talking about last week, which is, you know, do you ever get tempted? That's a question to you guys. Do you ever get tempted to go back over models that you painted a while ago because you like them, you want them to kind of look more contemporary in terms of your current painting style? Or do you just think, I can't be bothered, there's a lot of work to do? Or do you like that, leave it as it is because I like the idea of seeing my progression overall? Testament to your artistic capability, is it not? I like it. Shiv says, no, Edward, because of his scissor-like arms. Edward it will be. It's a good name for him. I like that. So, I have got one more shin to do with the mid grey, with the current grey that I'm doing, to match his socks with his trousers, and then I will also do the spitty bits in here as well. I am waiting to hear back from some friends, because I might be going out for a drink. I'm not going out with one of my friends. I still might be going out for a drink to celebrate my birthday with one of them. If that is the case, I will paint until they are ready. If they are not ready, I will paint until I sleep. So if you want to come and join me, hang on. What am I doing over there? If you want to come and join me in Discord, I'm going to be carrying on painting over there. I'm going to go straight from here to there. Normally I have a 10-minute break, but I know that my partner's asleep on a sofa, so it doesn't matter. I'm going to go straight on over there, where if you want to, we can go and catch up and talk about stuff, whatever it might be. Maybe it's about the wonderful birthday presents that I've received. Maybe it's about how wonderful a host I am. It's my birthday. You're allowed to inflate my ego at least once a year. Or maybe it's just about the projects that you're painting this evening, because I would love to know all about it. So if you have been working on something this evening, come and tell me about it in Discord at the Easy After Party. And if you're not going to show up there, drop it in the comment section down there, because you can always write in comments after the video is finished today, because every time you interact with the video, it affects the algorithm. All hail the algorithm for the greater good. And that is only a good thing for Easy 8, because I'd like you to spread it far and wide. I want the community to grow. I want it to be thousands of people talking all the time, because this hobby is so cool, and I like sharing the hobby space and time with you guys. So yeah, there we go. If you like what we do, of course, please don't forget to thumbs the video up. Thumbs the video up. Thumb the video up. Don't thumb it up. Give the video a thumbs up. Crikey. Huh. Jana's just joined us right at the end of the show. I'm late. Good evening. Hi, Jana. Thanks for coming along. We're about to go, but we're about to go over to Discord, so you can come and join us over there as well. Jeff says, got sent some pics the other day, buildings I made back in 1996. I've come on a bit since then. Photos up on Facebook, please, or it never happened, but I would love to see that, because that'll be a blast from the past. I remember them, but it's nice for everybody else to see them too. If you like what we do over here, of course, please do consider subscribing to the show. Do you know what? Don't even consider it. Just do it. Just go subscribe. Do it now. If you haven't done it, push that subscribe button. I'm going to have a lot of time coming up in the near future where I might just kind of do some sneaky little videos in the middle of the day. Who knows what's going to happen? So if I do that, you hit the little bell icon beside the subscribe button. It will tell you when I go live, so you can come and join me for some impromptu painting, just like a little chill out zone. We won't talk much, maybe we will, who knows, just to get some painting done in each other's good company, and that's what this show is all about. So thank you very much for giving me the company this evening. I genuinely do look forward, speaking very fast, I genuinely do look forward very much to coming along these evenings and painting alongside you guys. It gives me the motivation that I need to get through all of my unpainted miniatures so I can get some colour on my grave. That's what it's all about this evening. So yeah, there we go. Another week, moving into another volume next week. Hopefully I will change the thumbnails and then that will classify it officially as a new volume. That's literally the only difference. It's just the volumes have a different thumbnail. I'm a rubbish YouTuber. Subscribe to me, that'd be great. Thanks very much. Anyway, until next week, stay safe, be kind, keep on painting, get some colour on your grey, and I'll see you soon. Bye bye now. I don't know what you mean by pump up the volume. Good song, but what are you telling me? No, seriously, you're going to have to explain it to me. Put it in the comments. Love you, bye.